Hey, what is happening, everybody? Patrick from hdrgb here today. And this is going to be a fun video where I want to talk about my Sony Trinitron PVM, this nice little monitor that I have that I like to use for some of my 240p gaming, and how I integrate it into my stream setup using basically a few devices to get it going through a capture card. So if this video interests you, please give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links below for various things like our eBay page, hdrgb.com, and if you're interested in seeing our live streams, go to twitch.tv/hdrgb. Now recently I made some changes in the channel where I basically moved all my streams over to Twitch, which is a very fun platform to do the live streams, and with that there's a hole in the YouTube channel in which I want to fill with videos like this. This is sort of like the original type of video that I would like to make for this channel. So let's get back to the OG. And another good thing is I recently upgraded my phone. I got myself the brand new Pixel 7 Pro. And this is my first time filming a video with it, so I'm excited to see what it is. So with all that out of the way, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm gonna just basically get started just talking about why this thing is so cool. Now, I have a few different PVMs, and I can tell you for general use, you're gonna be fine getting away with, let's say, a consumer grade CRT TV. So if you have yourself like an old school Sony Trinitron with component inputs or something like that, you're gonna be fine with that. If you wanna just hook up some S-Video or maybe some like modern era gaming, some PS2 era, Xbox era, GameCube component era gaming. But PVMs are very special because they do a lot of fun things like in and out signal, so you can daisy chain them and loop them. So I'm going to just show the back of the monitor and sort of speak about how I integrate a lot of my consoles. And a lot of my consoles are, for example, I have a pretty substantial 3DO collection. I have Neo Geo AES. I have a Dreamcast, which I don't use for this TV because it is a 480p console. And I have that running in various other ways, so you can check out some of my other videos if that interests you. And in addition to all those consoles I have a vast collection of games, and I'm always looking for an interesting way to play them. So normally where I do my stream, the ones that you see on twitch.tv, or if you look at the live section of this YouTube channel, I basically sit right there and I do all my gaming right on this sucker here. So I have my camera up there, I got a camera to the left. It's a very good setup, but I don't always want to put myself in front of this TV. Sometimes I want to sit in front of my computer monitor, and that's where this guy comes in handy. It's very, very good for playing things like the 3DO, playing things like the PC Engine. And we can turn it on right here just to give an idea of how this thing works. Now, I recently made a video about my open source scan converter if you want to know how to take retro console signal, good signal like RGB, component, VGA, that kind of thing, and convert it to a format that your modern TV can understand, that being HDMI. I did a video on the open source scan converter, so you can check that out. So now, how I have this thing hooked up is if I want to play a retro console, for example, the Sega Saturn, I have my Saturn basically positioned under my modern TV, and I use a wireless controller so I don't have to have too many cables because, God knows there's already too many cables here. And the cool thing is I have that thing running, going into my open source scan converter so I can display on the TV, and also it goes right into my capture card here so I can stream it. And these streams I'll put on my Twitch channel if you want to see them, but I want to talk about how I get that going. So if we walk around to the back of the TV, and a lot of people are going to ask me about the model, so I'm just going to show that right away. So there's your model, the PVM-14M2U. Now this is 240p, manufactured in 2002. It's a really, really cool monitor. And this is sort of the behind the scenes. So I got my PC, obviously the sucker that runs the whole operation. I got my SCART switch. I got my open source scan converter, right? And then I have the magic in the back of the PVM. Now this is what people are gonna get a PVM for. If you look in the back, you have separate connections for red, green, blue, sync, and then you got your audio. So how I use this as a stream monitor is I have this basically BNC, so the connections in the back, BNC to female SCART adapter. So I hook up the red, green, blue in the sync, and then I have from what I just pointed to my SCART switch, I have all my consoles going in through here. So how it works is the console goes into the SCART switch goes out into this, hits the monitor, so I get signal here. On the output of the monitor, so everything beside it, out, 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 that goes in to my OSSC. And excuse me, what I meant to say was I have to have basically an output for that. So hold on. Sometimes I confuse myself with all the wiring. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I have 2 cables. That's what I got. So I have a female to BNC, and then I have a male to BNC, so I can do in and out. And I got these from eBay seller Wookie Win. Or, you know, you can basically get someone to make these cables for you. You just have to ask them to reverse the order. So consoles go in, consoles go out to the PVM, out from the PVM, they go into the OSSC, HDMI goes to my TV, and I'm able to basically display on both the modern TV and the PVM. So again, how it works is the PVM gets the signal first, and then it outputs into the capture card, and then I'm able to do streaming and playing. So sometimes it's more fun to play on the PVM, sometimes it's more fun to play on the modern TV. And if you look at my OSSC, it's a real octopus. I got my Dreamcast hooked up with VGA, I got my Xbox through Component, I got the 3 consoles through SCART, and basically all my 240p SCART consoles will be able to play on this sucker right here. So just to kind of go back on the connections again, if you just want to use a monitor like this for retro gaming, yeah, it's great. Like, I would recommend this if A, you can get your hands on it. You know, you're not spending a lot of money. I wouldn't go ahead and spend $1,000 on a used PVM. I mean, I've done it before, so I'm just telling you from experience. It's nice to have, like, you know, if you want to have S-Video, or you know, if you're into composite or Component or SCART RGB. I like the form factor. I like that this is a 14-inch monitor and I can play my Sega Saturn on it and, you know, other consoles like that. But in reality, I used to have what was it, like a 27-inch consumer grade CRT, and I honestly think the picture looked better on that one. You know, so obviously not every single PVM is the same. There's different specs, different models, different age. So results will vary. But I specifically have this because I like using, like having a one-size-fits-all TV that can test all my consoles. I can test them through various inputs. I'll show you this side here. And it's just a really fun way to be able to stream using this PVM. So if you're interested in getting a PVM for streaming, you can literally get anything that has BNC connections with an output. If you just want to use composite, you have your same in and out for S-Video, but I like to film in, you know, Component or RGB. Now, I would say this is a pretty good setup, but I want to get something where I can play Dreamcast, so I can play Phantasy Star Online. And the reason I can't do it is because the Dreamcast is a 480p console, so if I run it through my PVM, it's going to downscale 480p to 480i, and it's not going to look very good. It doesn't downscale it to 240p, which would be better, but Dreamcast you want running in 480p. So really my only option for that is to get a 480p monitor if I want to. And, you know, obviously I won't be able to find one just by like doing a quick search. It's virtually impossible to find these. So if you can score a 480p one, you know, by all means, but I can't do that. I can't just score one of those. I have to get lucky. So I don't want to rely on luck. Now I have another PVM that has a SCART output, but then I run into the other problem it doesn't have an in and an out. So I would need to get a double output SCART switch, one that outputs 2 simultaneous connections. And again, those are really hard to find. And I'm not going to spend, 400 American plus tax on a G-SCART SCART switch to give me 8 in and 2 out. That's too much. If I can find a 4x2, 4x2, I'd love that. My last option is to use a VGA monitor, since the Dreamcast will output in VGA. But again, I'm looking for 1 or 2 input and a 2 output. So I can send one to the OSSC and one to the monitor, and that would allow me to accomplish what I want. So that's what this video was about. It's just about showing how I get this connection. And if you want to see me play the system, check out twitch.tv/hdrgb. Also, drop me comments if you have any questions. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will come back next time. And if there's a video or something you want to see, just let me know and I'll do it. Right now I'm doing these single shot videos, just like one shot done, upload. But as time goes by and as I start getting into this video editing a little bit more, I'm gonna try to make some content where I edit videos, add some music, make higher quality videos. But that's a time consuming thing, and right now I'm just balancing between doing these videos and streaming. So I hope you enjoyed it for what it is, and we'll improve as we can whenever we can. All right, thank you very much. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.